We string things along for 2 months in order to get the results. And I also know. Welcome back to Privy. Privy is a podcast about bathrooms, recorded from my home bathroom. I'm your host, Hunter Hoover, and I love bathrooms. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. And we made it. We survived another spoopky season. Hopefully, it didn't spook you so bad you pooped yourself. Hence the name Spoopky Season. And you know, the time in between Spoopky Season and Privy Christmas here on the show is it's sometimes slow. But this year, at least here in the United States, there is, for lack of a better term for it, a lot of hubbub. 2024 is an election year here in these United States. And in the past, we have discussed the importance of voting and the process of democracy and how these things can and often are very good. But I want to take a moment to just air a grievance. So I live here in the mostly still free state of Oregon here in the United States. And I got to note, there's some shady dealings going on election-wise. I want to note the first big thing that I think is that I have a grievance with is, so Election Day, this episode is coming out on voting day. Hopefully you have voted. If you are an American citizen, I hope you voted. But in the state of Oregon, they don't have like polls that you can go to and vote. So the only way to vote is vote essentially via absentee ballot. Everybody votes via a ballot that is sent to them in the mail. Now, that's all fine and good, but the state of Oregon did not get people their ballots, and thus people were not able to vote until well into the third week in October. I don't think I actually had ballot in hand until like October 19th. So again, this is fine, but I know like my cousins in Montana, they had received their ballots, voted, and had gone on the internet to tell people that they had voted before I had even received my ballot here in the state of Oregon. It's questionable. Do I think that they purposely took their time? Absolutely. I don't understand the play. I feel like you would want to get the ballots out to people as soon as possible if you want people to vote. But they also, they got the voters' pamphlets out in time. The voters' pamphlets actually went out ahead of the ballots, which they're supposed to. And there's a glaring omission in the Oregon voters' pamphlet. There is essentially two main candidates for the president of these United States. There is three, but one of the three has essentially said, "Hey guys, we need to vote for this other guy." And you know, Kamala Harris, her thing is just plastered full in the voters pamphlet, which is good. People should know about who she is and all of the policies that she has communicated, if you can find them. But one of the candidates was there's a glaring omission in that there was no information in the voters pamphlet given about Donald Trump. Now, in the process of voter information and getting voters information, yes, there's websites you can go and look up these things. But like, go do that and put the freaking information in the voters pamphlet. Like, that's why the thing exists. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who has essentially said, go vote for Trump, they had his info in there. Also, there's some fun politics with how the ballots are laid out and what order the candidates are in. And I believe, and somebody who cares more about this stuff can go fact check this. I don't, get CBS on the fact check. But the more people are more likely to vote for the first person on the list or the last person on the list. And in the state of Oregon, Donald Trump is buried weirdly, like towards the middle and end of the list. It's just a thing. Do I think that Oregon is stacked in one way? Absolutely, yes. Do I think that it's a convenience that, or a coincidence, not a convenience, a coincidence that Portland, Oregon, and Vancouver, Washington, and other of these, well, weird, for lack of a better term, cities are having people burn and light fires on ballot boxes? No, it does not surprise me. Do I think it's right? No. But does it surprise me? No, because this is how these cities operate. If they don't get what they want, if they sense that they're not going to get what they want, they act like little diaper babies and they poop in their pants. And in this case, they light the ballot boxes on fire. But here in the United States, it's been election season. You have probably been bombarded with online ads telling you about so-and-so and how they're an awful person and how they believe this and how they don't want you to have rights and how this person loves your rights. I got a news for you. They don't care about your rights. None of them care that much about your rights. But one thing that we have been, one system of voting that we have been tracking moderately close here on Privy, is this year's competition for the America's Best Restroom. And we're going to give ourselves a break as we wait for the fallout of the American election. We're going to take a look at the America's Best Restroom 2024. A little history and backdrop to the competition. The Cintas Corporation, which we've covered in years past, go check out our episode about the Cintas Corporation, started America's Best Restroom competition in 2002. We're pushing 25 years here, and they started the competition as a way to essentially have I guess customer engagement, but also to allow America to vote and select the best bathroom in the United States. Now, traditionally, America's Best Restroom accepts nominations for the best restroom almost a year prior to voting, which that voting usually opens up in August. And here's what I want to say about that. First of all, if you know of a very good restroom that you would like to nominate for the 2025 America's Best Restroom, we'll have a link in the thing down below. But you should go register that bathroom. But here's what I'm going to say. I operate a podcast about bathrooms. And I, Hunter, here on the show, did not discover the America's Best Restroom competition until a year or two into making this show. And I say that because how are people knowing about it? Second, it should be noted, I follow the Cintas Corporation on multiple social media platforms. I know. Bold move. This year, the Cintas Corp's America's Best Restroom 2024, I missed the voting by almost a week and a half. You have like a 2-week window, and I missed it by almost a week and a half. I only got to vote for 4 days. Now, America's Best Restroom, it's one of those things where you can vote multiple times over the course of 2 weeks. Thus, you can actually vote for multiple bathrooms if you feel like multiple deserve a chance. And I feel like they don't post when the voting opens. They post like, oh, you can nominate a bathroom, but they don't really post when voting opens. They just kind of do it, and then voting happens. And so then, if that's the case, the only people who are aware of the need to vote are those employees or owners of nominated bathrooms or people who are friends of those who have nominated or work for one of these establishments. As a result, because of that, I would argue that bathrooms with larger employee base or with more foot traffic are more likely to win. In many cases, my argument here is that it is less America's best restroom and more America's most widely foot trafficked and more used restroom. And you can see this in the history. You can go back and look at the nominees and those who have won, and those who have not won. And there are some glaring like winners who buck the trend. Most recently, Two Cities Pizza Company from a couple years back. Shout out Two Cities Pizza Company. But my other grievance is that the voting closes, and you guys have heard this before. And if I'm chirping on this, y'all just bear with me here. But voting for America's Best Restroom closes in the middle of August. And even though it's a Google form, apparently we can't figure out how to total the columns to determine the winner. No, we have to sit on this like some lucky golden egg of destiny, waiting 2 months before we just arbitrarily, middle of October, release the winner. Whatever. Middle of spooky season. It's disrespectful. We string things along for 2 months in order to get the results. And I also know, when they announce the winner, they don't announce how many votes the winner got. They just say this one won. We don't know if the winning bathroom won by 5 votes or 5,000 votes. We'll never know. In fact, sometimes in the worst, most darkest parts of my brain, I wonder if the voting was real. Or if it's just a ploy for, I don't know, maybe the rich and powerful to just select who they want anyway. Imagine winning. Imagine having any position and receiving no votes. It's just hard to fathom that could or would happen in our world today. And I also get this. I get this away about America's Best Restroom, but I know people get cagey like this when over the election for the president. And so, as promised, we're going to take a break from worrying about the legitimacy of our elections and worrying about the effectiveness of our democracy by diving in to the election results of America's Best Restroom 2024. As we look at yet another election. America's Best Restroom 2024 had 10 finalists. The top 10 finalists for this year's America's Best Restroom include number 1, Hop Shops in Florence, Kentucky. Hop Shops has this fancy, they call it a groovy restroom. It's kind of a convenience store. The Hop Shops are these chain of family-owned or oriented gas stations in the region of Kentucky. And in some of these gas stations, they boast something called disco bathrooms, which sounds pretty cool, but I'm not sure that I want anything disco. I think this is the retro that was on America's Best Restroom description. Green soap dispense. There's a big red button that triggers a disco party. And again, when I'm grunting out a big old grumpy, I don't know if I want a disco, quote unquote, disco party. I don't think the toilet's the place for a disco party. I'm a big fan of doing a lot of different things on a toilet. Having a polar seltzer. Recording a podcast. Apparently, Chris Luckman is eating ribs. I don't know. I still can't get over it. But I don't know if we need a disco party. And it's a disco party of one. It's kind of sad. First nomination, Hop Shops in Florence, Kentucky. Number 2 are the Indiana Caverns in Corydon, Indiana. The Indiana Caverns are the longest cave system in Indiana. This cave system is cave system turned family fun center. It offers a full range of activities, including zipline. I'm literally just here for the zipline. Escape rooms, gemstone mining. But when you get to the restrooms, it doesn't feel like you're in a cave anymore. They're spacious. They're tiled with easily clean materials. There's multiple stalls, make the restrooms functional. And this is Caverns turned family fun park. It's actually a really cool idea. I would be constantly afraid of the whole thing caving in while I do mini golf. But it's that question, do y'all want to go down in the spooky cave? There's a cool bathroom in the spooky cave. Do you want to come to the fancy, well-lit bathroom in the bottom of the dark, spooky cave? The Indiana Caverns, number 2, might be your place. Number 3 is the Kansas City Zoo and Aquarium in Kansas City, Missouri. The Kansas City Zoo was founded in 1909. The zoo boasts, quote, several thousand animals. I'm wondering if we're counting bugs and birds as that several thousand. There's a couple hundred acres of land and one nomination for America's Best Restroom. This is another nomination of being nominated for being new. The bathrooms are new construction. They're gender neutral, highly accessible, and they even have new state-of-the-art adult diaper changing tables. Hear that, Papa Joe? I know you're almost done being president, but there's still a way for you to get your diaper changed. And it's a new bathroom. It's a new modern construction with accessibility in mind. We're going to see a trend as bathrooms and America's Best Restroom continues. We're going to see a trend related to accessibility and modern technology in this. Number 4, Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Lambeau Field is the home field of the Green Bay Packers of the National Football League. The stadium opened in 1957 as City Stadium, and it was informally known as New City Stadium for the first 8 seasons, but was renamed in 1965 in member of Packers founder, player, and longtime head coach Earl Curly Lambeau. Lambeau Field has a seating capacity of 81,441. That's a lot of seats, and as a result, it's the second largest stadium in the NFL. But with that many seats, you're going to need a place for lots and lots of people to drop a fat deuce. The playing field of the stadium is conventional north-south. It doesn't matter. Lambeau Field is the oldest continually operating NFL stadium. That's all cool, but like, what about the bathrooms? The bathrooms, I will say, look nice. The Cintas Corporation note that they feature modern amenities. They're numerous, spacious, ensuring short wait times, which is a good move when you're seating like 80,000 people in that stadium. It's a good move to figure out how to get those wait times down. There's height adjustable, power operated adult changing tables again in the atrium restroom. And Lambeau Field boasts itself with cleanliness and efficient maintenance. It's a football stadium's, and you would think that to win this, all they would have to do is just like send the army of of Green Bay Packers fans and say, "Hey, Packers fans, our stadium's bathrooms are up for America's Best Restroom. You better go vote." But apparently it's harder to get out and vote than maybe we think, even for bathrooms, not just for president. Number 5 is MAD in Houston, Texas. MAD has an eclectic restroom that merges Spanish flair with a cosmic space theme, paying homage to Houston's Space City motif. The restroom hallway is covered in mirrors and neon lights reflecting vibrant hues to create the illusion of infinite space, adding to the room's surreal and breathtaking atmosphere. The restroom itself features Spanish tiles with sleek futuristic neon. It's this old and modern mixed. How'd we get here? The idea of opening a Spanish-inspired restaurant came from an immigrant living in Houston in the early 90s. Smells, flavors, and textures of his childhood in Spain lingered. In 2008, he met a Barcelonan chef, a chef from Barcelona. And in 2014, they opened their new project, BCN. I don't know. But eventually, their real project, where this bathroom lives, MAD, is a restaurant. I think it's short for Madrid, MAD. It's the evolution of this dream that these two had to keep the flavors and textures. The vibe is cool. The bathroom looks like a weird laser light show mixed with a house of mirrors. It's cool. Here we are. Number 6, Maverick, Adventure's First Stop in Salt Lake City, Utah. Maverick is a gas station. It's a truck and gas station shop through multiple states. I've been to a Maverick. They have Mavericks in Idaho. First time I ever saw one was when I went to Thanksgiving with my wife. Oh, gosh, that was probably 12 years ago now. Good old Maverick. Noted. The Maverick boasts itself, though they are a gas station, on having clean restrooms. This specific Maverick in Salt Lake City says that it deserves recognition for cleanliness, comfort, sparkling features, spacious stalls, fresh amenities. They go the extra mile to make sure that the adventurous decor and family-friendly features are in place. And USA Today named Maverick as a place with the cleanest gas station bathrooms in Arizona, Colorado, Nevada, and Utah. So there you go. It's Maverick. It's a gas station. Number 7, Maximilian Motorsports in Chehalis, Washington. Maximilian Motorsports was founded by Maximilian McDonald, who G-dang brother of Ronald F. McDonald, you know what I'm saying? But Maximilian McDonald pulled his first engine at age 12 and was driving by age 13. And so he opened his first auto repair shop about 1993. It started out as a small one-car garage in downtown Chehalis. I think it's Chehalis. I don't know. In Washington. Maximilian Motorsports developed into the culmination of experiences and opportunities for motorsport enthusiasts, fueled by his passion for car. As business grew, so did the need for more space. They have a 5,000 square foot shop that has expanded to include 7 bays with hydraulic lifts, top-of-the-line diagnostic repair and equipment, and a gorgeous showroom lobby for customers to wait and enjoy their refreshments. In that showroom lobby is the nominated bathroom, and boy, is it themed. Most notable is the sink. The restrooms at Maximilian Motorsports, it's like a combination of automotive passion and luxury. There's an iconic automobile memorability along the wall. The sink and faucet are like looks like they're part of an old car. It's weird. The faucet, it looks like this. Yeah, it's super cool. It's very well themed. Maximilian Motorsports in Chehalis, Washington. Number 8, Morning Glory in San Diego, California. Morning Glory is a small breakfast and brunch spot in San Diego. There's almost no real information about Morning Glory, but the website has some charm to it. When you go to Morning Glory's website, which is strikingly lime green, like we have really leaned into the lime green for a restaurant that seems to have so much more class than the site puts forth. But on the website, they acknowledge, quote, "This is a badly done website for a breakfast restaurant. As you've noticed, we suck at websites. That's okay. We do breakfast, not websites." So that's fun. The bathrooms, thankfully, have much less lime green and a lot more mirrored glass, which looks cool, although it's a lot of mirrors facing you while you're trying to do the job. Like, you can get a view of that turd hit the splash from every angle with these mirrors. Whether or not the bathrooms live up to the standard of the breakfast at Morning Glory is yet to be known. Maybe one day we'll find out. But the restrooms have floor-to-ceiling mirrors, like I said. They are a 1980s inspired design with custom shell-shaped sinks and winged faucets in the bathroom. Morning Glory, number 8. Number 9 is the Natchez Trace State Park Visitor Center in Wildersville, Tennessee. Natchez Trace State Park Visitor Center bathrooms are unisex and are designed for all individuals. An adult changing table. We've returned to the adult changing table. It's wall mounted. Yeah, it's big enough. Holds 400 pounds. My fat duff can get up on that guy. But the Natchez Trace State Park is a state park in Tennessee that sits on 48,000 acres. These bathrooms are in a new construction in the visitor center, and they're super cool. And I will note, in all of my research for these America's Best Restrooms, the Natchez Trace State Park Visitor Center in Wildersville, Tennessee, is the only bathroom on the America's Best Restroom nominees list who had the fact that they were even trying to win America's Best Restroom on their website. So shout out to Natchez Trace State Park in Wildersville, Tennessee. Good job for getting the vote out there. Last but not least, number 10 on our list is Throne Restrooms in Brentwood, Maryland. A ways back, we discussed Portland loos. And the Portland loo was a seemingly mostly failed project up here in the Pacific Northwest to make bathroom access totally available to the public. We, as in me, on the show, went and visited a Portland loo in real life. And if you saw the social media, it was a hellscape. The Throne restrooms are a lot like that. But Throne restrooms seem to be better. They seem to be cleaner. And I would love to see if there's an image that somebody has of a Throne restroom being absolutely decimated. The Throne restroom company seems to be maintained by the company and not the city, which means they're going to be better. Local government, am I right? They boast self-cleaning and increased access with their Throne Smart bathrooms, of which the offering in Maryland for ABR was one. These are smart bathrooms. They're self-cleaning. They're self-monitoring. Throne toilets seem to use a thing called the Throne Tap Card, which helps people register to use, gain access to, and holds them accountable for using the Throne bathrooms, even if they don't have a phone. These bathrooms really do seem smart. It's like electronic bathrooms. It's kind of cool. They seek to provide a modern and hygienic experience. They offer touchless, clean, convenient solution in public spaces such as parks. It's equipped with a suite of smart sensors to inform service operations to ensure the restroom always stays clean. And that's all our nominees this year for America's Best Restroom. The voting is in. The results have been tallied. We're not going to wait around on it anymore. The winner of America's Best Restroom is brought to you by way of this segment of Poo in the News. Welcome back to Poo in the News. This press release, I'll call it, is brought to you by the New York Post. This is going to be about the extent of the news that I'm going to be trusting from the New York Post. The company's tagline is Adventure's First Stop. And now that company's bathrooms are Adventure's first plot. The Maverick website touts Maverick started when a young man from Wyoming decided to open a business in his hometown. In 1928, 20-year-old Rule Call opened a 2-pump gas station in Afton, Wyoming with money he earned from renting roller skates. The business grew, he started providing fuel to surrounding towns and ranches, and now the Maverick gas station line is known as the best place to energize your body, fuel your vehicle for whatever adventure in life throws at you. As we noted in the reading of the nominees, Mavericks have been well recognized for their cleanliness and choice of hot case food. This hot case food is not going to be an electrified gut bomb. Like, you want something that's going to sit well, so that way when you're on hour 8, hour 9, hour 10 of the road trip, you don't have to go diarrhea deluxe. You want something that sets up well. Apparently, their bathrooms are pretty stellar too. Now, it should be noted that specifically the Maverick in Salt Lake City has won. And they have received the prize of cleaning services, I believe, for a year provided by the Cintas Corporation and $25,000. Great job. Although I will note, and this is not to disparage Maverick's win, and hearing about Maverick's history, starting from this young man who worked his way up in the American dream and worked hard and built a business that will go on to win America's Best Restroom. It's awesome. But I want to note, it is kind of hard for me to believe that a gas station won. A thing known far and wide as a disaster area of crap and fluids has won. And maybe that's because Maverick is setting the standard for clean bathrooms. It's a cool coming up story. Every Maverick is family owned, financed, and operated. There's no franchising. and that likely lends to their success and cleanliness. So I guess while I like to celebrate when the little guy wins, it's kind of like a little big guy won. Still feels strange, but congratulations, Maverick. You guys did it. You are America's Best Restroom 2024. Please post this on your website. Please tout this far and wide. This brings us to the end of another episode of Privy. Thank you so much for being here. As always, leave the show a rating and review. The 5-star options are preferred. You can leave a rating on Apple Podcasts and Spotify Podcasts. And those ratings go to help people find the show. We'll donate $1 to Wounded Warriors and Living Water International for each dollar given. As a reminder to keep pooping in the free world. That free world was not always free. And there are parts of our world who are still without clean water. Cleaner water for all. A freer world for all. Leave those ratings and reviews. Follow us on social media. We're at Privycast. You can follow Randy Bowles if you dare, at Randy Bowles. You can follow me. I'm at Owlet7. Join us over there. Go join the Facebook group, The Privies, where dumb memes about bathrooms are shared by all. We would love for you to join us there. Share the show with a friend. Share the Facebook page with a friend. Just tell somebody about the show this week. You can send us an email, privycast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Episode suggestions, comments, concerns, pictures, solicitations for podcast collaboration. We would love to hear it all. Privycast@gmail.com. Don't forget, on the website, Privy-Cast, there's a little store, limited release sticker thing. I'm trying something out. I'm not sure if it's going to go anywhere. We'll see. We'll keep trying new things and keep building this thing as we go. Thank you to Kevin and Podington for the use of your music this week as intro and outro, Pooh and the Moose, and transition music. You can find Kevin and Podington's music at the links below and in Compotech.org and PodingtonBear.com. Thanks, Kevin and Podington. This brings us to the end of another episode of Privy. Keep pooping in the free world. Vote like you mean it. Own your stank. Wash your butthole. And now, as always, don't forget to flush.